and that's a good suggestion for all the things that we're going through. We still got to keep on pushing. And now we have some brothers in the studio, a bunch of brothers, as a matter of fact.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And they're all in studio, and they are going to talk about something exciting that they're doing. They're going to talk about a book. Is this mine?
Yeah. Yes, you keep it.
Thank you. You always got to give something.
Put me on the spot.
Yes, right. But so I'm looking at a book here, and the title of the book is East Side Story. And this is by our very own, and he's a regular here, Anthony Canones, also known as A-Class.
A-Class.
Yeah. And so he said the name of the book is East Side Story, Where Dreams Become Nightmares, produced by Kevin Stewart and Malik Burns. And so we're going to let the brothers introduce themselves, go around the table, introduce yourselves, and then we'll have the central focus, because you look like the Godfather. We'll have the central round. Tell us about what this is. So go around the table.
How you doing? My name's Will Porter. I'm from East Harlem. I'm a hip-hop artist, poet.
All right, Will. Okay.
And I'm Russ Hayward. I plays in the movie as Jamaican Russ.
Jamaican Russ.
And that's it.
All right. That's enough, brother. That's enough.
I'm Malik Burns. I star in the movie.
Okay. And you also, you help
B-Boy
produce
Records.
this? You help produce this, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, what else do you do, brother?
Executive producer of Hellgate Records.
Okay. All right. Yes, sir. Go ahead, brother.
Kevin Stewart, director of the movie, producer, writer with Malik Burns, and CEO of Team Hellgate Records.
Okay. Yeah. Now, the first thing, how did you get into this? How did you get into the whole movie making business?
Me and Russell been in the film business over 10 years. We had the #1 hip-hop underground video show on Eminem. It was called the Fat Cat and Big Stew Show.
Okay.
And that's where Russell was the director, and at that time, and I was the host with my partner Fat Cat, and we played a lot of, we was known for breaking Harlem artists like Cameron. We broke a lot of videos on television back then. When nobody was supporting Harlem artists, we was, and so that's what we was known for, and we did some of the. We did a lot of the interviews that you see now in the Fed magazine. We was doing it on public access first, and then magazines kind of stole that idea. But that's where we started at on television, and then me and Malik Burns produced. He directed and produced, and I kind of got with him and promoted Somebody's Gotta Die. That was our first film. That was on YouTube.
Okay.
And Don Diva magazine gave us. We was the #1 urban film of that month and that time period. So we've been doing this for a while.
Okay, so y'all straight from the concrete.
No Hollywood. No Hollywood. Not Hollywood, Hollywood.
All right. So tell us a little bit about, without giving too much away, tell us a little bit about this, about the storyline.
Well, when a lot of times when people hear about Harlem, they hear Lenox Avenue, 8th Avenue. They don't really hear about the other side of 5th Avenue, which is East Harlem. So we felt we needed to tell our story, you know what I mean? So, a lot of times, there's a bunch of projects just back to back on East Harlem, if you know East Harlem. And there's a lot of things going over there. So we felt we wanted to show people a story, because every time you see a story about Harlem, they show you the Cotton Club, they show you the Apollo, they show you everything but the other side. So we felt that the world needed to see there's a whole other side, there's a lot different across 5th Avenue, going across Park Avenue, Lexington Avenue, 2nd Avenue, and that nature.
So, all right, having said that, there's a lot of Latino influence over there.
Yeah.
So is that in the film as well?
Yeah, it's in the film. It's a melting pot over there.
Yeah.
At this point now, it's more than just Latino. There's Mexican. There's a lot of Jewish. There's a lot of Chinese. Just Chinese people in the project now, like regular now. So it's a melting pot now. So that's a lot in the movie, because a lot of us now over there, it's not, we get along with each other. It's like. But it took a long time to be like that. You know what I mean? But now,
tell us a little bit about that. Tell us a little bit before folks were able to come together. What was it like? And who had turf and whatever?
Well, the gang, the project thing got really big. You know what I mean? Like every project, that's a gang. In New York City, especially on East Harlem, it's not like the Bloods and the Crips because, in the project, you can live on 13C and be a Blood, and the Crip can live on 13B. So it's more or less about your project where you got to come back home from. So projects was fighting each other a lot. And I don't know if you remember, like maybe 2 years ago, they did a big drug bust and busted a lot of kids over there. They took over like 200 kids from East Harlem that was gang related. So the project.
They did the same thing with Grant.
Yeah, they did the same thing with Grant in Manhattanville. But when they did on the East Side, they did it with a couple of more projects because they did it first on the East Side. Then they went to Grant over there. And like I said, it's the case of where this project was fighting against this project, and it just. It all started over a small thing and just turned to a big thing. And so we just wanted to get the story across and try to show some positive light on it too at the same time, And at the same time, all of us got together. Like when this movie is all the projects together, that's why we call it Hellgate. Hellgate is when you look at a 10th Street train station, that's the Hellgate train station. So then when we all come together, when every project come together, we form Hellgate. So we got together and felt that all of us can get together, do a book, do a movie, and show the kids that we could tell our story and tell the grit of our story, but at the same time do it by doing something positive, by making a movie, and and at the same time we was hoping to help our careers at the same time with the movie, using it as a movie and a book, using it as a tool to help the rap artists get more exposure, to the world, and it was used as a tool to do a lot of things, to tell our story. To get us out there in a major way, and also to bring our music and our sound of East Harlem, because we got our own sound of music, so we wanted our sound to come out. So the movie was the plate to serve the whole dish.
Okay,
Basically,
I'm sorry, man.
show the kids you could take nothing and make a whole lot of something.
Pull your microphone close.
Show the kids you could take nothing and make a whole lot of something.
What do you mean?
Took a
Flesh that out.
$300 camera and made about 80 grand. So that's nothing in a whole lot of something.
All right. Go say that again, because I want that to sink into the listening audience. How resilient we are.
Took a $300 camera.
Resourceful.
And made 80 grand.
How did you make the 80 grand?
Well, we sold the film to Redbox. We shopped it, and it's on Redbox now. And it's not actually now they bootlegging it. Like we came out with Poltergeist. We came out with The Spy. When you looked at us, we was the only independent film with all the big major box office films.
How did you get that deal?
Just kids. I was just on the internet, just being persistent, banging down everybody's doors, grinding, getting on their nerves, making phone calls, and then finally, what happened was we put it on YouTube. It got 100,000 views, like in a couple of weeks, and then an agent came to me.
And you look to your left, you see we got almost 500,000 views over there from the first movie.
Yeah.
And that was Somebody Gotta Die.
So we already built a fan base, and the agent was like, when he first came to us, I was ducking him because I thought, so many people that be BSing in this game. So we was very overprotective. But then somebody else said, no, he's the real dude. You need to talk to him. And when we got with him, and next thing you know, like 2-3 weeks, we had a Redbox deal.
You know what? I have to say something, but I hope you don't take offense to it. Your story reminds me of the group from Money and Violence. I don't know.
No, I'm not saying
Actually,
offense. We love them.
It's our stuff. Yeah, because that came out first. And that was a spinoff of everything.
Wow, that's crazy.
But you know what I think is like we all new filmmakers. I love Money and Violence because they telling their story of Brooklyn. We're telling our story of East Harlem, and we new filmmakers. Like we're the new generation.
It's so empowering and it's so refreshing to like see filmmakers like yourselves who are really telling a real story.
Exactly.
You didn't go get a whole bunch of fake people and painted them black and then said, okay, be a black person and tell a story. This is your story.
Exactly.
So you are telling it authentic. Of course you're going to pull people. You'll see people who may fit some of your roles. I'm guessing that's how you get some of your actors, right?
Yeah.
We
got a lot of guerrilla style.
Yeah.
That's what we call
talk about
Talk.
I want to hear the brother back here. Talk about how you got involved. How you get involved with filmmaking and
how did I first get involved with filmmaking? Like he said that we was doing a show on the internet channel, Manhattan Neighborhood Network. I started out, I took up some courses in Manhattan Neighborhood Network and BronxNet and Queens Community College. I took up
So
some
you had a knack
courses.
for it. You
Yeah,
just pursued it.
and I was always their cameraman. I was the one that always ran around with their camera and everything like that, and directed them. And then
So you the eye behind
yeah. Like when we first came in the room, I had to tell them, "Yo, make sure your phones is off. Spit the gum out." It started out like that, and it just went to something bigger. And it just went to something bigger.
That's great. That's great. Now talk about the central figure. Who is the central character?
Mr. Mo Money over here.
Or and who is that?
Malik
You're the
Burns.
central character.
Yeah.
And what's Money like? What's it all about?
Basically, the struggle of just living in Harlem. Period.
Okay.
You know, like I have 2 disabled twins.
Oh wow.
And in the story, you know, it's an emotional thing. So in this story, it's like I had to gather up all this money to pay for operations and do all this
real?
other stuff. It's real.
Yes, real life. This is real life.
But some of the things that I have to do, it's not always, you know, you can't just go and ask somebody for 100 grand or 150 grand. You got to get it however you can get it, or they will die. So it's just that deep, you know, and you know, when you watch the movie, you'll see them and you'll see how deformed they are, and you know,
and they're in the
and they're
movie.
twins.
In the
Yeah,
movie.
they're in the
Yes,
movie.
they are. They're in the movie. That's how real this movie is.
A lot of people had criticized me, like, why would you put them in the movie? Why not? Why can't they have it? You know, they lifespan is, you know, they only last till what, 13, 14, 18. Okay. You know, kind of proud of that.
Right.
You know, so you know, that's their legacy. You know, I let them. You know.
All right. Yeah, that is interesting. Those of you that are out there in the listening audience and you're listening, you can call in 212-650.
6903.
And one more time, 212-650.
6903.
And we want to talk to the creators of the East Side Story, a movie taken from the book by Anthony Quinones. And man, you all are doing it.
I'm getting ready to throw you out this room.
Why?
Just take this one.
What's he say? You said you weren't going. No. You said you weren't going to say nothing.
I lied.
You lied.
You put this like
You lied.
guys in here, and like you expect me not to say anything. I'm like biting my tongue.
No,
This kind of interview, I can't be quiet on IG.
It's great. This is her thing because she's an artsy person.
But see, the beauty of you guys is like, first of all, you take the story that's really your story, and like you said, all of the projects where you kind of were fighting each other, and that's a negative thing, you know, like all of the fighting, all of the violence and everything. And what you did was you took it and you turned it into something positive. And it's your own thing. So I really want you to speak to our audience and let them know that this is something that they can do. Because the beauty of y'all is that y'all are so human. You know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm speaking to a robot or somebody who has their bio and they're like, okay, I have to hit up a bunch of radio shows.
Image.
This is not what it is. This is real people. Like even your story is shopping it.
And this is something. Tell me something. Tell me this. As far as inspiration, did you get any so you look back and you see folks like you talk about Bill Dukes, and we'll get to that in a minute, but Spike Lee and other folks, did you get any type of encouragement from any of them?
I got my encouragement from Medea.
Medea?
Yes, Medea.
Go ahead, brother. Tell me about that.
I was sitting in the room, I was like, dang, I'm going to make some cash. I was watching Medea, and I realized he did these VCR tapes, and he used the auditorium, and he used his people around him, and he sold those tapes. And I remember my parents and them watching them tapes, and they was selling like, it was like $25. I was like, wow. So, then we could do the same thing.
Wait, that was around that long? Medea,
yeah.
You said on tape.
VCR tapes.
They were like $25.
Very first Medea. He was doing the
This
chicken
is not
circuit.
new.
He was doing the chitlin circuit.
Yeah.
Churches.
And I noticed everybody was doing something on YouTube, but nobody was doing no web series. Nobody was doing anything, really. I was like, man, if I could take this camera and use the real people instead of hiring somebody to act like the real people.
Wow.
we could really make an impact. Everybody thought it was crazy.
Wow.
For me, it was more or less like, you know, growing up, my mom's was always show me like the old films like Superfly and Dolomite and Mac and
So-called black
black
exploitation.
exploitation.
Yeah.
But and I used to be in like Sweetback, you know, and I used to be like so intrigued with how they did it, you know. And then I used to
Across
study
110th Street.
That was the main film right there. I was getting ready to get there because I live on it. I'm from 110th Street. So when I seen that film, it felt like, what up, baby boy? It felt like we definitely had to, you know, we had to do it, you know. So that was for me. A lot of the old films, I liked it the way they did it. And you know, you would see the cameraman in the background running.
You see the microphone sometimes.
So I thought that was us. I used to look at us like guerrilla style, you know.
Yeah.
And
That's
another twist to it.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't want to do bang bang shoot 'em up.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot of comedy
Yeah.
in what I do.
Right. Okay.
You know, I want to make the people laugh, not sit
Different
around and
types
frown
of
at
new-
the TV or
Yeah.
get the wrong impression and go and hurt somebody.
Different types of nuances, different flavors, different flavors. Well, that's good. This brother been sitting